Have you ever seen somebody who earns more income than you do, who does well financially, who earns a lot of money, and you ask yourself, what is this person doing that is making him earn this kind of money? I'm working harder than this person, but it seems like he is doing well, better than me. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you some things the rich people do that a lot of poor people don't do. Assets rich people acquire that a lot of poor people don't acquire. Well, there are a lot of reasons why the rich people get richer and a lot of poor and middle class people tend to remain where they are without seeing a lot of progress like the rich people do. Now, when growing up, a lot of us, we tend to listen to the phrase, maybe our parents say it, or maybe in school they taught us that time is money, or maybe you can just be passing on the road and you hear somebody say time is money. Well, that is a very big myth. That is a very big lie. Well, time is not money. Time is not money. Time is infinitely greater than money. Here is what you tend to achieve when you believe that time is money, right? You are going to sell a whole lot of your time for a little piece of somebody's money. You are going to sell a whole bunch of your time for a little piece of somebody's money. Now, let me ask you a quick question, a quick brain test. Is time something we have in a limited amount or in an unlimited amount? A limited amount, right? Everybody has 24 hours. The poor people have 24 hours. Middle class people have 24 hours. Rich people also have 24 hours, right? Now, is money a resource you want in an unlimited supply or in a limited supply? Do you want a little piece of money, a limited piece of money, or an unlimited piece of money? Well, I know it is an unlimited amount of money, right? You want an unlimited amount of money. Now, a lot of people that believe time is money, they sell a whole bunch of their time for a little piece of money. And then that's where you see a lot of people working in 9-to-5 jobs. They are selling 8 hours of their time just to get a little piece of money. Now, here is it. Rich people don't work for money. Rich people don't work for money. You might want to ask, Isaac, why did I say rich people don't work for money? Rich people believe that their time is more precious than their money. They use a little piece of their money or a whole lot of their money to buy time in an excessive amount. They believe they don't have to do something by themselves. They don't have to use their time to work in a 9-to-5 so that they will earn money. Rather, they employ somebody to work for them, right? Then they can go ahead and do whatever they want to do. Now, a whole lot of this, I'll be talking about it in my next video. But in this particular video, I want to teach you assets you must develop to make you strive financially. Assets you need to acquire as a person so that you don't tend to sell your time for money again. And then you can now go into, and then you can now move into financial freedom, right? The first asset I want to teach you about is real estate. Now, you see a lot of rich people you admire, they tend not to sell their time for money. Rather, they acquire assets. They acquire assets that will help them to make more money. Now, if the reason why the poor people are poor, why middle class people are middle class, and why rich people are rich is because of what they believe the purpose of money is. Whatever you believe the purpose of money is, that is how you are going to see the amount of money in your life, whether in a limited amount or in an unlimited amount, right? The poor people believe that the purpose of money is to pay bills, to spend the money and acquire a better lifestyle for the moment. Then for middle class people, the middle class people believe that the purpose of money is for them to acquire a whole lot of it so that they can tend to buy things that they don't afford, that they can't afford, right? Like, for example, cars now, for example, houses, just to prove a point to a whole lot of people that don't even care about them, right? Now, rich people believe that the purpose of money is turning it into more money so that it can produce more money for them. Now, poor people acquire a whole lot of expense, right? A whole lot of expense. Things they don't need at the moment, but they are buying it just to satisfy that present pleasure. For the present moment, right? That is why they acquire a lot of things. Like, let's say, for example, a new clothes now, or a new car, or a new house, right? Is just to satisfy themselves for just that moment, right? Now, what is liability? Robert Kiyosaki in his book talked about liability as something that takes money out of your pocket, right? Asset is something that puts money in your pocket, and liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So whatever thing you have that is taking money out of your pocket is a liability. For example, your car now, if you buy a new car, you have to be paying for fuel on a regular basis. So now that bike now is a liability, or that car is a liability, right? Because you are using your money to pay for the car, to pay for the fuel, to pay for the maintenance, to pay for the service of the car. Now you tend to see that the middle class people acquire a whole lot of liabilities. Poor people acquire expenses, middle class people acquire liabilities, and then rich people acquire assets. Now, what are assets? Now, asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Personally, I define asset as something of value that you have that brings in return to you on a daily basis, or on a monthly basis, or on a yearly basis, right? Or annually. Now you tend to see that the rich people now, what they do with their money is that they use it to acquire a whole lot of assets that will work for them even if they don't work for money, right? For example, assets like the one I mentioned here, real estate. Real estate is an asset that a lot of people have not tend to focus on, or have not put their attention on getting. And one thing about real estate is that real estate basically has to do with properties, right? The properties you have at your disposal. For example, now let's say you have a house and then you are not living in the house. Well, you can rent the house and then somebody can come and start living in the house and then pay you monthly for that house, right? Or pay you yearly for that house. That is real estate. Now, real estate now means properties, the properties you have at your disposal. Whenever a lot of people hear of real estate, they think it has to be a whole lot of houses in different locations and in different geographical areas, right? Yes, that can be part of real estate, but real estate is not, you don't basically need to have it in a huge amount of number or numbers of properties, right? Just a single house can be real estate for you because it's putting money into your pocket, right? It can be an asset because it's putting money into your pocket. Now, aside the house, another example of real estate is an event center. Now, you tend to see a lot of these event centers where a lot of people do weddings, or they do their receptions or ceremonies or birthdays, or even hangouts or get-togethers, right? An event center can be an asset, right? It can be a real estate. It can be part of a real estate because it's your property, right? So people are paying you to use your property. For example, now I've heard of an event center where the owner of that event center tends to earn his money every single day. He doesn't go out to work. He just stays at home, and then with the asset he has, which is the event center, it tends to pay him money every single day because a lot of people do their birthdays there, their wedding ceremonies there, their hangouts, their get-togethers, and the rest, right? So they tend to pay him every single day. So for example, now let's say a person wants to carry out an event in his event center, right? For a single day, a person can pay him 200,000 or 300,000 naira or 500,000 naira, right? Depending on how long they are going to use the place, right? So the time. So you see that those people now hosting the event in his event center, they are his employees, right? Because the amount of time they spend in his event center, it tends to increase his money, right? So that event center is his asset now. That place is his asset because that is what is making more money for him. That is something he just bought once and then is bringing recurring payments to him, right? So aside an event center, another example of an asset I have to give you is a plaza, a shopping plaza, a or a business center, right? So there, for example, let's say a business center. So we mentioned a house. Two, we mentioned an event center, right? Then C, shopping plaza or business center, right? For the shopping plaza now, let's say you have this property, and in the property there are a lot of shops inside, or let's say single rooms, right? Whereby a lot of people can just rent and then do their business there. So they tend to pay you every single month for each of the shops. For each of the shops. For example, there is a shopping plaza I know of whereby it has about 8 shops And then for those 8 shops, they pay him 60,000 naira every single month. Every single month. So let's do a little bit of calculation now and see 60,000 times 8. That is 480,000. Right? So you see that this man now with the shopping plaza now, he earns 480,000 every single month. Now that is because of his assets, the business center he created, right, where people can come and rent their shops and then do their business there. They pay him 60,000 naira every single month, and then for the 8 shops, that is 480,000 naira, right? So for example, let's say that the person also pays for staying in the house. Let's say he pays, let's say, 50,000 naira. Then let's say for the event center, the person pays 100,000 naira. Now you see that 50,000 times 100,000, that's 150, right? Plus our 480,000 naira here for the shopping plaza. You see that's 530,000, right? So that this is just for a month. You can see that one thing about a lot of rich people is that they acquire assets that tend to pay them for the long run, right? So this man now, even if he doesn't go to work, even if he sleeps at home from morning till night, his money will keep on making money for him, right? The money he used to acquire this asset, which is the real estate, will keep on paying him for as long as he doesn't work, right? So they don't sell their time for money. Rather, the people working for him here are his employees. For his house now, the tenant staying in it is his employee, because for him to stay in the house, he has to pay him every single month, right? So he's working for him. So for the event center also, the people that carry out their events, which is the birthdays, the wedding ceremonies, and a lot of these events, they pay him 100,000 naira, $100,000, right? Or naira, depending from where you're watching from, right? So you see, for the house and for the event center now, the people carrying out the activities here, which is the wedding and the rest, they are his employees. And the person that rents any shop in this guy's shopping plaza is his employee, because he's working for him, right? For him to carry out his business in the guy's shopping plaza, he has to pay him for it, right? So real estate is just one example that I have to give you. Well, you might be watching this video now and maybe you are a teenager, or you are a youth, or you are a young person, right? And you are looking for another different asset you can acquire that will bring money into your pocket, right? The second asset I have here for you is a digital skill. Digital asset. Now, what are digital assets? Now, digital assets are assets on the internet that will help you to keep on making money, even if you don't go out to a 9-to-5 job, or even if you are just a student, right? Or you are a young person. These are assets you store online or in the internet space that can help you keep on making money for as long as that asset is there. Now, for example, let's say you are a graphics designer, or you're a video editor, or you're an email marketer, right? Or you're a copywriter, or you're a content writer. No matter what skill you might be into, right? A digital asset is something you must acquire in this age, right? A digital asset is something that is very necessary for you to get. So what type of digital assets can you acquire? So a lot of you people are good at writing. A lot of us are good at writing, maybe copywriting or content writing, or we write articles, right? You can write a book. So an example inside the digital assets we have is ebooks. Here is the most interesting thing about ebooks, right? An ebook, you just have to sit down and create it for a specific amount of time. Then when you are done with it, you can now post it on platforms that can help you to keep on making sales, right? Even if it's in 2 years time, or 3 years time, or 10 years time, or even 50 years time, as long as your ebook is there, a lot of people can keep on buying your ebooks, right? So you see that even if you don't go out to a 9-to-5 job, your ebook, which is your asset that you have stored in the internet space, is helping you to make money, right? It's helping you to make money. So another example of a digital asset I have here is online courses. So with the skills that you have available at your disposal, maybe you're a graphics designer or copywriter or email marketer, right? You can create an online course. You can create an online course depending on the skill you can do, right? So when you create that online course, then you can now host it online and then you can sell it. Now, concerning this online course is something you have to just set a specific time and then you create it. Then when you create it, then you can just host it on the platform. There are platforms like Udemy, there are platforms like Seller, there are platforms like Thinkific, like Teachable, and where you can host this your online course you have created, right? And then when you host this course, then a lot of people keep on paying to get your course, right? Through advertising, you can create advertising, either paid ads or organic advertisements, right? And then through this advertising, that is how they tend to get your either online course or your ebooks. And then when they can now access it through your advertising, then you start making money from there. So this is a piece of asset you can create in the internet space, right? So there are other assets you can create, like let's say the third here I have is a membership site. So in my previous video I created, I got a comment on somebody asking how he can create his own personal membership site, right? And what is a membership site? Now, a membership site is a community you create, right? It's a community you create whereby you tend to share valuable informations with the community. So it's a community based on a specific niche. Now what I mean by niche now is, for example, now let's say you are a graphic designer or a video editor, right? And then you have a lot of people who are interested in learning video editing or who are interested in learning graphics design, right? They can subscribe to your membership site. Then when they subscribe to your membership site, they can keep on getting access to a lot of exclusive content you have for them, right? So now there's a price you are going to fix your membership site at, depending on where you are. Maybe you can fix it at $100, at $100 rate, or you can fix it at a $1,000 rate, depending on your value, depending on the value you are creating. You cannot just create a comedy skit and then charge a lot of people 1,000 naira. You see that nobody is going to want to join your membership site, right? So it's depending on the value you are offering. So let's say you are an accountant, or let's say maybe you have a finance channel whereby you talk about finances or business or how to advertise, right? So you see that a lot of people will be able to afford it at this price you are setting it at. Your audience are people that can afford this price, which is the $1,000 price. So when you set your membership site in this price, now for everybody that subscribes to your membership site, now they keep on paying every single month to get access to your exclusive content. So it's just like our TV subscriptions, like for example DSTV or GoTV or any of these TV stations, right? Whereby we pay them monthly. We pay them monthly to get access to their content. You see that these TV stations, when you don't pay for that month, you don't get anything, right? So that's exactly how this membership sites work. So let's bring this price down to $100. Let's say you set your price at $100 and then you have 50 people. Oh, my marker is down. Let me pick the order. So let's say your price is $100 and then you have 50 people in that your platform. So now if we are going to calculate this, you'll see that for every single month you are earning $5,000 for every single month. That's when you charge at $100, then you have 50 members, then you'll be earning $5,000 every single month. So now let's say you charge it at $1,000, then you have 100 members. So this is what you tend to earn. If you charge at $1,000 and then you have 100 people already in the community, you tend to earn $100,000 every single month. So depending on the currency of your country, if you are from Nigeria like here, you can earn 100,000 naira every single month for a lot of people that are in your platform. And they don't join the platform just for getting value one time, right? You keep on dropping valuable content for them so that they tend to stay in your platform, right? And then when they stay, that's how you keep on earning. So a membership site is part of them. So an ebook also, an ebook. So if you don't want to create a course or you don't want to create a video content, you can write about the skill you are good at. You can write about the knowledge you have that you want to pass on to somebody. It doesn't have to be a very, very complicated skill, or let's say programming now, for example, or web design. Easy skills, for example, let's say easy skills now, for example, cooking. Most times I use example with cooking because to me is something you can teach, something easy that you can teach a lot of people, right? So for example, like cooking now, or for example, let's say you know how to rear animals, right? You can write an ebook about rearing animals. You can create a course on graphics design or video editing depending on the skill you have. So you see that these are digital assets you can acquire. All these are digital assets you can acquire. See ebooks, see online courses, see membership sites. So when you acquire these digital assets, you tend to earn money even if you don't use your time. You can be sleeping and be making money, right? Even if you don't use your time, even if you don't get employed in a 9-to-5 job, right? But because of the assets you already have online, you are now earning a whole lot of money, right? So thank you so much guys for watching this video, and in the part 2 of this series I'm going to talk more about other assets you can acquire, other assets that the rich people acquire that the poor people don't have, right? Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and if you are sure you got value right from this video, do well to click on the subscription button below and then hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we create a new content, or whenever we drop our next video you can get notified, right? Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Like the video, comment on the video, share it to your family and friends, and I will see you next time. Peace out, Scouts.